Hello and welcome to the Joint Venture Insider Show. This is your source for all things joint venture, affiliates, programs, and what have you. I'm going to be sharing some upcoming ways that people can get involved. If you're an affiliate and you're looking for programs to promote and both serve your audience and also make affiliate commissions, then that's what we're going to be sharing. If you have a promotion that is looking for affiliate partners, then you go to guywhoknowsaguy.com/JVIS promo. You fill out the form there, and that's how you get on this slideshow that I am about to share with you. There's no cost or obligation. I do ask that you provide me with at least a first tier and preferably a second tier affiliate link. For those not familiar with the lingo, you probably are if you're submitting a promotion. But for those not familiar with lingo, first tier is if you go to the program, you sign up for the workshop, you buy the thing, whatever, then that's that commission, is that first tier commission. Second tier is I connect you with a promoter, right? I connect you to someone who's going to promote it. They send it to their list. They get the first tier commission. I get the second tier commission. It's often 5, maybe 10%. It's usually not a lot, but it provides value for us, JV brokers and connectors and whatnot, and shares the abundance in different places. So if you have a promotion you'd like to share, guywhoknowsaguy.com/JVIS promo. You can also reach me at michael@guywhoknowsaguy.com if you have any questions or want to connect or engage in any way. All right, and we do have a guest today. Ellen Finkelstein, I believe, is coming on in a few minutes. So that's exciting as well. Very excited to have her on here. But let's get on to some partners that you may wish to work with and promote their cool things that we got going on. So first up, of course, our sponsor, as always, is the Joint Venture Insider Circle. This is the Joint Venture Insider Show. That cool intro and all that stuff, that's thanks to them hooking us up with all that. So thanks to our partners as always. They have a launch coming up August 23rd to September 1st. Now, JVIC, if you are not familiar, is one of the best places to learn how to effectively joint venture, both how to build your list and then also how to build those partnerships, how to promote people, how to find promoters, how to build those relationships, develop them. And their JVIC basic program is only $9.97. So it's a really affordable thing and includes one of my favorite programs, the Ultimate Course Formula, which I always have that book right here handy, Ultimate Course Formula. It's a great way, if you have knowledge but don't know how to package it, UCF, which Amana Guy created, is a fantastic system. And that course, not just the book, the course is included in JVIC. So you have a great joint venture ready program. So when you get in that community, you're ready to partner with those people. And of course, all the links for either signing up for these things directly or to become a promoter are in the show notes in the description. So wherever you're watching this, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or whatever, you can find the show notes with all the links down there. And if you ever need them, you can always email me at michael@guywhoknowsaguy.com. I can connect you that you need. And a couple of them, if you want to be a partner, you do need to connect me directly. I'll introduce you, but we'll get to that in a minute. Next up, Dan Mangena. He is running his Money DNA workshop tomorrow. That's Thursday, August 4th. So it is a great workshop. It's not a webinar, it's a workshop. He really teaches the Money DNA concept, which is all about becoming in alignment with the way you approach money so that it stays. So your money doesn't come and then go, so it actually stays with you. And the workshop, it teaches some great things. It's interactive, it's hands-on, and then the upsell is very smooth. It's a simple matter of, if you like this, you want to go more in depth, here's how you do it. And then you upsell the $9.97 program, the 40% commission. The workshop will be running again in mid-September. So obviously it's a little bit late to promote the one that's tomorrow, although you can. And the next one's mid-September. He has some other things coming up too, summits and some other things like that. Jill Lublin is running her Publicity Breakthrough Challenge. The boot camp is October 19th to 21st. There's a 50% commission on the boot camp registrations and the crash course bundles. So there is a challenge coming up, September 7th through 9th, just 1 hour a day, where participants register for $1 and then are options the Breakthrough Boot Camp and Crash Course Bundle for $197. As always, there's links down in the description if you're looking to promote that. And Igor Kheifets, I met him recently. He has a really interesting program, especially in the affiliate space, because most of the affiliate partners you're going to run into, they are looking to reciprocate. We're looking for reciprocation. So you're going to promote them, they're going to promote you, because they're primarily looking to build their own program. And so you're exchanging promotion and you're getting commission on that. Igor's audience is people who want to make money on the internet using this affiliate marketing, maybe don't have their own program. So he teaches them how to build their own list through some great strategies he teaches, and then use that list to promote affiliate partners that will serve that audience. So they choose an audience, they find programs that will serve that audience, and they provide that service. What this means is they don't have their own course they're selling. So they're just looking to monetize. What they're looking for is those commissions. That is their primary focus. So they are potentially great partners because they're looking at, if I send people to you, can you convert them? What's the commission? That sort of thing. This can be great for someone who has a smaller list and can't effectively reciprocate, wants those partners. So if you'd like to connect with Igor, he has a really cool system. It's a like live webinar. So he makes it, the way it's structured, it is, he can do a separate one for each partner he works with. But it's not actually live, so it's a little bit easier to put together. But people who are watching it feel like it's live because it's somewhat customized. There's people in the chat who are engaging. He's doing some really cool stuff. And he's got I love his program because it's so democratizing. Anyone who wants to get into this space, get into the abundance that the internet's currently providing, he's teaching people how to do that first level, that first stage. And he's doing it by affiliate promotions, which is great for the whole affiliate JV community, because that means more people who are sharing our programs with people who are out there. So again, if you want to be connected with him, you would connect with him by contacting me. I'll make an introduction for you directly. So that's who we have for today. And of course, once again, let me grab that link there. There's the link. If you have a promotion that you would like to be featured on the show, go to guywhoknowsaguy.com/JVIS promo. And I see that Ellen Finkelstein is in the green room, so sit tight one moment and we'll be talking with Ellen Finkelstein.
And now,
hello, Ellen, and welcome to the show.
I love the promotional value, the production value you have with the music and the background and everything.
That's all JBIC. They took care of all that for me. I just come here and smile and look pretty. So they've done some great work to bring this to us. So I'm excited to have you on here. And part of the reason I wanted to share your knowledge with our audience is because you've done some very effective things with the newsletter format. Which prior to meeting you, I was like, newsletters, aren't those kind of like the old way of doing things? We don't do that anymore. And then you did it. You showed me how you do it. I started doing it and have been getting great results. But before we jump into that, share a little bit about who you are and what your business is about.
Sure. My business is ChangeTheWorldMarketing.com. That's one of my two businesses. And I help experts, people who have knowledge, and I help them get online with their product, their course, whatever it is. And I was interested in what some of the previous things you were talking about, because I help people create an online business. It can be from scratch. So some of these people are new to business altogether. So for example, maybe they just left a job or they retired or something like that. But then the other aspect of it is people who maybe they're coaches or consultants, and they might be
Sounds like Ellen's break it up a bit. We may be having some technical difficulties. Ellen, you still with us? All right. Well, I will wait for her signal to rejoin. And so, in the meantime, while we wait for Ellen to return, I will describe a little bit about the system that she uses, which I call the Finkelstein method. She doesn't, but I do because I learned it from her. And what what she does is very unique. So, a lot of times when we think about newsletters, what we run into is, and by the way, in case you're wondering if this is in fact live, obviously it is. When we talk about newsletters, a lot of the corporate newsletters I see that I don't like, it's kind of a random assortment. And Ellen's back. Ellen, I was going over, newsletters and the good and the bad of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the technical thing, but
Who
anyway,
knows?
who knows? There you go.
But yes, so as
So I was telling you
Good.
that Change the World Marketing. I help people create an online business, whether they have a business already as like a coach or a consultant or something, but they want to create something online, an online product, online course. And so I help them with their message, with their audience, and with their program, whatever it is. So that's MAP. It's like a roadmap, message, audience, program. So I help them with that. But for myself, I have a newsletter, an email that I send out every single day, pretty much, probably 360 days out of the year, something like that. And what we mean by a newsletter is the fact that I'm not doing solo emails. And this is the crucial thing about it. This is totally against what all of the gurus say, which is that you should only have one link and one call to action in an email. But actually, when you think about it, that's not what's best for your audience. So your audience, if you have 10,000 people on your list, or if you have 1,000 people on your list, if you send out an email about one thing, it's only going to be relevant to a small group of people. But what if you had a newsletter, an email that had multiple things in it? It's going to be relevant. Almost everybody is going to be able to find something that's relevant for them. And so that was my goal, was to have an email that was sent out that almost everybody on my list would find valuable. And the reason it's valuable is because I have a lot of different links for people. They can choose whatever they want. So I start, and I've gotten really good results with this. So I don't have the change in, he's showing the.
So people can see what the format looks like here.
Yeah. So go back up to the top and I'll show you.
I believe this is today's, actually, or yesterday's. Yeah.
Yeah, this was yesterday. So I always start with a story. This one happened to be about, was a funny story about my daughter-in-law's mother. I go every week, once a week, we go for a walk together on the nature trail. And she's from Luxembourg, and her mother is here. Her mother's trying to learn English. And she ended up with an exercise about Independence Day in Luxembourg. And so my daughter-in-law's mother was telling me the history of Luxembourg. It was kind of cool. But the thing that blew me away was that Luxembourg lost its statehood for 400 years because there was no male heir. Mm-hmm. This was from like 1400 to 1800. And that was like the only reason. It was like, no male heir. Well, too bad, other countries are going to take you over. And it was just such an amazing thing. And what I do with this story is that I relate it to business. So in this case, it was like, well, from hindsight, we know that's kind of ridiculous. There are women who run countries, but at that time, I did find two other women who had ruled countries before 1400 in Europe, but it wasn't common. So in hindsight, it seems kind of silly to lose your nationhood for 400 years because there's no male heir. So what do you do if you're in a situation now that seems terrible in your business? It's like going to ruin your business. My gosh, we don't have a male heir. What are we going to do? You don't have the opportunity for hindsight because you want to fix the problem right now. And so you can't look. So you can look back, but you can also look around. So you can look at what other people are doing. Yes, there were two other women who had ruled countries, before, or you can ask an expert. So something like that, get a coach or look at a consultant or something like that. Or you can just brainstorm yourself opportunities. So it's a matter of not thinking that a situation is definitely going to be horrible. There might be another way of looking at it, which we can do now with that situation in Luxembourg. Mm-hmm. So that's how I always start. And then if I'm going to skip a section, which is like the table of contents that you're focusing on. But just below that is today's hot tip. And that always relates to my story. So in this case, I'm suggesting, that if they're in a bad situation, they should find a coach, find a consultant, look around, just try to find, not just try to struggle with it on their own without some outside resources. So that was the tip. And the whole purpose of that tip is that it should be valuable for every single person who's on my list. It's always a very specific things to do, but applied to everyone. And so that brings people in. In fact, one of my subscribers told me that she copies and pastes it into a Word document and stores the daily hot tips every day. Yeah. So then go back up a little bit, and and there's the table of contents. So there's a table of contents. This is fairly new. I've been developing this over time, but I really like people to be able to look through what I'm offering and go, is there nothing for me, or is there one thing? And and they're numbered the same way there as they are lower down in the email, or there are links if they want to click through immediately, but otherwise they can go down and read more about each one. So the first one, Fastest Freebies Ever, is right up there. This is one of my own products that I'm promoting. And so there's more of a description of it. So number one, and then below that, you can see there's this green button that they can actually buy it. And number two is the second thing. And guess who that's about?
Oh, wow. You had Michael Whitehouse on your show? That guy's, I love that guy. He's amazing.
He really is. And so I interviewed him. And this is a link to the blog post. So that's the second thing that I'm promoting. And then the third thing is a Facebook Live. Since this is yesterday's email, I did it yesterday. But I talk about that. I'm always trying to get people into my Facebook group. And now that there is no join button, and Facebook has changed the way they run public groups completely, it's a little bit more confusing. But at any rate, I'm always trying to get in there. And so I had a very specific thing about how to create a course and how to create an offer, and that was a Facebook Live, and they can come live, they can go afterwards. I promote it afterwards as well. And then I'm promoting a book, something about the 80-20 principle. So I'm promoting that, and go down. Yeah, and then below is my generic offer. If I gave you a step-by-step, if I gave you step-by-step guidance, so you could create your own online product, and within 6 months, would you be interested? It's just a generic thing, and sometimes people will go, yeah, I'm interested, and I can get a new client that way. And then there's always a PS. In this case, it's a link to a blog post of 2 ways of getting customers, one-to-many or one-to-one. And by the way, so you can see that a number of these are free. So the interview with you is free. The blog post is free. The book is $1 that I'm promoting. So they're very. There's always something for free that people can get, and there's always something for sale that I can get. So the result of this has been that I've just been able to do really, really well on leaderboards. So that's where I know I have stats, because I know the results that I get on leaderboards. And what's so amazing about this, because I'm emailing every day, because I have multiple things in an email, I can email more times than anybody else, like really anybody else. So just to give you an example, Danny Inney, who sells a course on how to create online courses, and this was about 1.5 years ago, was the first time I'd ever promoted his launch. And he has a big, long launch. It's like 3 weeks long. And I promoted not only to my Change the World marketing list, I have a PowerPoint list, that's my other business, and I have some big LinkedIn groups. So I really went all out because I wanted him to promote me. I knew who he was, and I knew that he had clout, and he wasn't going to promote me if I was going to, be 100th on his leaderboard list. So I promoted every single day to my email, my Change the World marketing. I can't do that to my PowerPoint list because it's corporate, but I did, 2 or 3 emails to them. And I promoted in my LinkedIn groups as well. And I ended up number 2 for opt-ins on his leaderboard, which was like 900 something opt-ins, which means I must have gotten him, like close to 2,000 clicks, which I've never done before. I really went all out for him. And the only person that beat me was Josh Turner, whose list is at least, well, let's say if we fall from a Change the World, at least 5 times the size of my Change the World marketing list. So I did have another list. So maybe it's at least twice as much, but probably more. He might even have a 6-figure email list. So, and he beat me easily, but to be number 2 in opt-ins, not just in clicks, but in opt-ins, was an amazing result. And of course, Danny, and he promoted me back. And that has like been very, very valuable for my business. So I recently did a video, it was a Facebook Live actually, about how to get 100 clicks with a tiny list, because I was organizing a giveaway, and I wanted, so very often in a giveaway, and you're probably familiar with this with JVIC, it's like in order to be in the giveaway, you have to have a list of 2,000 or 5,000. And it's very disheartening for people who have list with a giveaway because they don't have a big list. It's like this, catch 22. From my perspective, I don't care what size your list is. I care how many clicks you give me. So I did this Facebook Live, how to get 100 clicks with a tiny list. And I had people, one person had 50 people on her list, one had like 450 people on her list. And you might ask, how does somebody get 100 clicks with 50 people on their email?
That does seem like less than 100, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So of course, the way she did it was she used social media. I think she even took out ads. So she really tried that hard, and she got 100 clicks. And what was so interesting about that was because it was a giveaway, then she got people signing on for her offer, her contribution, which started her business. She was just starting out in business. She got her first client that way. So it's in a sense, it's like trying harder, the little engine that could, but because I'm sending out an email every day anyway, it's not really that hard. I copy the previous day's email, make a few changes, and send it out. Depending on what I'm promoting each day. So I regularly get in the top 10 of leaderboards above people who I think I beat Rich German on one. And his list is huge list. So yeah, I regularly beat people out whose lists are much bigger because they only mail 2 or 3 times. They only send an email 2 or 3 times. And I think as you mentioned this, I remember you saying this at one point, I'll start slow below those people. They'll send out an email and get like this big result because they have this huge list. And then every day I keep on, I just go up and up and up in the leaderboard because I keep on emailing and I keep on emailing. And yeah. So it definitely works. I see the results in the leaderboards, how many clicks I can get for partners.
Yeah.
Now, a colleague of mine recently switched over to this, and because she did it suddenly, she had statistics on it. And I don't want to read out her exact statistics, but her unsubscribe rate went down, her open rate went up, and her click rate went up. And so she was extremely pleased with this. And I think if you look at it about what is best for my subscribers, what are they going to find more valuable, I think that really you can really make a case for giving people multiple options in an email. And I do try, as you showed, I do try to make it easy for people to go through. There's a little table of contents, and I engage them with a story, and I have the daily hot tip that is valuable for everyone. And so people can still pick and choose what's interesting to them, but there should be something valuable. And people, what they say to me, and the first time this happened, it blew me away. It was like somebody said, your newsletter is so valuable. And I'm going, all I'm doing is selling. I'm like, sell, promote. Yeah. But they find it like a list of resources, as if I'm giving them valuable resources. And I've had people say this over and over after that.
I actually had that the first week I started doing it. Someone in a networking group said, I really appreciate all the value. And yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I'm selling you something in every one of those items. But people are happy. People go to the mall on purpose. They watch the home shopping channel on purpose. They go to Amazon on purpose. They want to buy, but they just want to, you're providing all these options, and they can now choose. They can say, oh, look, here's 4, 5, 6, 7 things here. I did have one question for you. The copy you use, do you use the regular swipe copy, or do you modify it? Do you rewrite it?
Yes and yes. So so I start with the regular email copy, and then I adjust it. So my way of selling is very educational. And so I'm always adding in there why it's important. Now, good email copy will do that. We'll explain why this is an important thing. I'll add my own experience if I have experience doing this strategy or whatever it is. So I do modify it. And also,
you should anyway.
Yes. And also, one of the things I have to do is, because the email swipe copy that somebody gives you, an entrepreneur gives you, is meant to be a full email. So sometimes it's long. And so I definitely, the first day I might do something close to as long as theirs is, but then after that I shorten it quite a bit, because I don't want the email to be pages and pages long.
Yep.
And they've, they might have seen it the day before. So I make it shorter and quicker.
Okay. So you might start with the full copy the first time, and then
or close to it. Yes.
They're kind of like TV commercials. Have used to be the 60-second version. Then a week later you see the 40-second version, and then you see the 20-second version.
Right.
Because you've already seen it. Yeah.
But you can't make it too short. There's a commercial on TV about, the product is, I think, called Shag. I don't even know what it is. It's a 15-second commercial. What it's about. So it's done with this kind of like shag baby kind of thing, and sort of, anyway, I still don't know what it's about.
But you remember it.
I do remember it, but it was so short that they never explain. The graphics aren't very good. They never really explained what it was. So you have to do that. That's
the kind of commercial that wins a Clio but doesn't win a sale.
Right.
Yep. All right. Well, so this has been great. I'm glad to have you on here, and I learned a few things as well. I'm going to refine in what I'm doing, because it's the feedback I get is very powerful. That the people feel like they're being served, and I think it helps with some of that incongruity. If someone's used to getting your messages, and all of a sudden they're getting like a swipe copy message, and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Yeah. Right. So some people are just sending out swipe copy every day. That's all they do. But if you're mixing it up with your own copy, your own story or your own products or whatever it is, yes, I think you're right that there's a real disconnect in the tone, and that doesn't go over well.
Yeah. I think of Tom Poland is a great example of that. That if you're on his list, it's because I want to. His list does a similar thing, but it's a separate swipe copy. But he might promote 5 or 6 things a week, but that's what you're expecting. So you're like, all right, Tom, what do you got for me this week? Oh, I'm not interested in this. What do you got tomorrow? And because the audience knows what to expect. But
I can beat Tom Poland, whose list is also way bigger than mine. I've beat him on leaderboards as well. But again, it's because he's only going to promote you once or twice, and he has a very big list. But whatever that is, it is, and he's scheduled. So one of the nice things about this, by the way, is that when you're sending out an email that only has one topic in it, you have to have a promotional calendar, because you can't send out another email on that day. And so you might not be able to promote somebody for 3 months because you're all scheduled for the next 3 months. And I can promote you tomorrow if I can get it together, and you can get it together. I can promote you tomorrow usually, if I'm not, I don't like to go over 7 or 8 items, but so if I don't have them tomorrow, I'll just add you in as another item on my email. And so that makes me very flexible.
Yeah. And that can be especially for the newer people starting out who don't have a team and don't have the infrastructure and apparatus. I myself have at times promised to promote people, and then I get the email being like, "Hey, so you promised to promote me, so here's everything you need to get started next Monday." And I'm like, "Oh shoot!" But with this system, I promised to promote someone. I forget. I get the email on Thursday, and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot. Oh well, let me just throw it in Monday's email. Guess I'm promoting 7 things instead of 6 this week."
Right.
Yeah,
and the last thing I just want to say is that I've worked overtime on a format that does try to make it easy to consume, with the table of contents and the daily hot tip and the numbers, using the numbers in the table of contents and the same numbers below, and so and using a button to kind of separate them. And I have a thing of tildes between each one, and just something that makes it visually easily separate, to separate out each thing.
Yep. And so if people go to Change the World Marketing, can they sign up to get on your newsletter list there?
They can, right on the homepage. Yep, absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been great. As I said, I learned a bunch more things, and hopefully our audience has gotten some value from it as well. So thank you so much for being on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And now check it out. We have even more music and video animations.